Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Crash Course Metal Show. We are doing another special Four Squared episode, but today we got with a special guest, Rockin' Danger from the Rockin' Danger channel. What is going on, bro?
Woo, yeah!
Hey, I'm Scotty Rock.
And I'm Nate Danger.
Oh yeah! Today
Good.
we're going to talk about the rock and roll.
Good deal. So, guys, let us kind of like give people the backstory, if you will, which there's not that much backstory to our picks here or to our topic of today. We're doing the Four Squared Canadian version in hair metal, right? So,
Canada.
Yeah.
yes, Rockin' Danger, if anyone's unfamiliar, they are from Canada. So I thought, you know what? Let us do a Canada Four Squared, and who better than to have Rockin' Danger on for that. So,
Quite a few people better, probably, but we're glad to be here.
nah, I don't.
We were the cheapest option.
Yeah. We answered the email. So
Yeah, just had to give them a couple beers, and that'd be all good, right?
That's right. That's
Sure,
right.
bud.
That's right.
All right. So the albums today we are doing is Sven Gali, their debut album. We are doing Killer Dwarves, Method to the Madness, Kick
yeah.
Axe, Vices, and we also got Big House, self-titled from '91. So, guys, real quick, do you guys do have familiarity with all four albums, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Obviously, growing up in Canada, we were like big fans of the Canadian music scene. So these are four albums that are very familiar to us.
I always found it weird in like Canada. We had our own music scene, whereas in the States, we always got a lot of American music, and Canadian music. You guys kind of maybe
You guys didn't get nothing of ours.
Maybe get the Canadian music as much, right? But yeah, man, I'm stoked. I had most of these albums and I followed these bands, throughout the years a little bit. So
Good deal. Good deal. So yeah, and to the point of like down here in America, I had to really dig, like you guys said, for like Canadian bands, and there's really not that many that broke into the mainstream, if you will, like actually got like really good popularity. Other than maybe like Slick Toxic, which we don't have on this list, which is one of my favorites from Canada.
oh
And,
man,
We love Slick Toxic.
yeah.
Yes. We talk about Slick Toxic all the time on the channel, so I thought, you know what, let us put someone else in here for this Four Squared. So, but nonetheless, all these albums are good and deserving to be talked about. So, guys, you want to start here with Sven Gali? You guys want to tell your piece on Sven Gali?
Okay, well, you know what? I don't know about Sven Gali, but well, Danger, you kick it off. What do you?
Well, Sven Gali, obviously, the album came out in 1992. This is a big year for us. I would have been in grade 11.
Yeah.
Really, really involved. Scotty and I are both playing in bands that kind of toured all across Canada and stuff. So heavily involved in the music scene. And just on a side note, because you did mention Slick Toxic, I thought you didn't want to include them because I called them dicks on our on the one episode. Anyways, they're not really. I'm just sure they were that day. But Sven Gali, they were kind of in that same, lumped in at that same period of time, right? So Toxic would have came out at that time. Sven Gali, they released their album, and the first single was Under the Influence. Just,
oh man,
what a banger of a song!
Look at me,
That is right, Nipshan.
Yeah, but you have to understand, like in Canada, hey, there's like that. These bands are coming out in that space where hair metal's sort of at the end, grunge is coming in, and Canadian music scene's kind of like finding its own identity because we had a bit of like a can rock revival that followed all of these bands, hey, that came onto the scene. But Sven Gali came out. We were in high school, man, and I threw it on. I felt like I was like a Canadian sort of Skid Row in a way, a little bit.
Yeah.
Get like Slave to the Grind vibes a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. This is one of my favorite Canadian albums, along with like Slick Toxic. Dude, like you got like 12 tracks on here that are just like really, really good stuff. This is without giving away like my ranking, like this, I had this since high school. I actually had all these since high school for like 10 plus, 15 plus years. And man, like Tie-Dyed Skies, absolutely great, like groove to that song, chorus. Sweet Little Gypsy, In My Garden's like kind of like an alternative feel, even a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't know. And the ballads on here are just absolutely great as well. So
it's interesting to know. Danger and I were talking earlier. Does this have like a grunge influence? Because it sort of came out in 91, 92. But like, if you're listening to music at that time, maybe that would be like a little more natural absorption of what became grunge, I guess, ultimately. Because there are some cool psychedelic, alternative, like rock riffs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yep.
yeah,
That's it. It's funny because you bring up Tie-Dyed Skies, which was obviously a release. They had a video for it. To me, that pulls a lot of influence out of Faith No More. Faith No More came out in 89. So the whole Falling to Pieces kind of bass groove, I feel like that's what Tie-Dyed Skies was going for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's definitely more of a groove on this album, hey, than like more rock bands that were out at that time.
Yeah, I'm with you. So like the two ballads I mentioned, Whisper in the Rain, and then also Love Don't Live Here Anymore.
Love Don't Live Here Anymore.
that he sings that so well. Like that's such a great song. Like that's probably one of my favorites. Like other than maybe like because I did hear Under the Influence first. That was the first song I heard from these guys. But then when I heard that ballad, I was like, holy shit, I gotta get this album some way somehow. So like
don't you love the acoustic guitar solo? I love that they didn't go rock with it. They left it clean, left it acoustic, and that song was huge all over Canadian radio.
Was it? Okay.
That was a big one in Canada. It definitely has that extreme kind of vibe, like the acoustic ballad with the solo and the harmonies and everything. But it's a solid song. Personally, I prefer "Whisper in the Rain."
Oh, great song! Great
over "Love Don't Live Here Anymore." But I remember slow dancing with a couple ladies in high school to "Love Don't Live Here Anymore." So it kind of brings back those memories a little bit. But,
like both of those ballads are like neck and neck. Like there's not really a weak one of the two on this album.
No.
So.
But look, I was thinking about this today. If you're weighing one versus the other, Love Don't Live Here Anymore has, I think, a more acceptable radio song.
Vibe, for sure,
Yeah. More of the sing along chorus, maybe too. Like if you will, if you want to like kind of term it like that, or just more earworm type feel to it. Chorus.
Earworms.
Those are my favorites, man.
So anything else that you guys want? Now, since you guys are from Canada, I do want to know, like, and you did mention this slightly. How was this album like received? Obviously, here in America, it didn't do jack shit. But what about in Canada? Like, what?
Well, I think like we were in high school and we were following the music scene, and if you were doing that, this band came up quite a bit, hey?
Well, the album was big. The album, the Junos, obviously, that's Canadians' version of your music awards.
Yes. Yep.
The Grammys. But the Juno Awards, Sven Gali was nominated for Juno Awards. I think they won Best Hard Rock Unit that year.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Because didn't Slick Toxic win something that year as well? Best album maybe or something?
We're from Canada. Everybody gets a trophy, man. We're all just
okay. All right. Now I'm getting context here. Okay. I'm
syrup playing hockey.
Slick Toxic won a Juno, and then they went out celebrating, and they crashed a limo, and they got dropped. Was the story there?
Did you know that?
I did. I knew that from you guys. That's where I learned it.
Yeah. And they got dropped.
Funny story, yeah.
Oh,
they pretty much fell off the face of the earth after that, for the most part, So,
but like Sven Gali back in the day, I saw him tour on this album, and they were so rad live back in the day, and so professional. I think as a Canadian band, they really came out as a new hard rock unit. They nailed it live. Who was on there? Rainbow Butt Monkeys.
Oh, Rainbow Butt Monkeys.
I don't know. You're probably not familiar, but
I can't say I have any of their stuff. So.
They're probably known as they are known as Finger
11.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
In the States at one point with that.
So do you know Finger 11?
I've heard of them, but I never listened to them.
You got to check out Finger 11.
Okay.
But Finger 11, prior to their name change, was known as the Rainbow Butt Monkeys. Yeah. And then when they got famous, they changed their name because they wanted to be more credible.
Yeah. Probably a good move. But anyways, they opened for Sven Gali, and that was a rad show, man. This whole
Sven Gali was great.
They came out and played stuff, and even on this album, hey, like just going back to the album, like Freaks to me sounds like Psycho Love, hey, from Skid Row.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes.
I picked up on that. I was like, holy, is this like a intentional thing, or probably not, but. Like that, but that's the whole vibe of this album for me. It's like just as good as.
I feel like there's Aerosmith influences as well. Like
I could see that.
The two songs. So "Sweet Little Gypsy" in the verse, it's got the bass, descending bass, like "Hearts Done Time" by Aerosmith. That whole do 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 do, and it does that. And then the guitar does the exact same riff, like in a number of songs later. What was it? "Real Thing." the guitar plays the exact same riff as they did on the bass, like 4 songs prior.
4 songs earlier, yeah.
Good deal. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Like, this is an album that totally gets forgotten or just unknown over here in the States, and it's just a damn shame. So now, real quick, I do want to get your guys' opinion on the next album. What do you guys think of that? Because I see it laying around some places, like on eBay and stuff. I want to take a chance on it, but I don't want it to be like a Wild Side, like when they released their second album. It was like a slap in the face to everyone that was a fan of their original or their debut. So, what's your guys' opinion on the second album?
It's got a different style. A lot of fans didn't care for it because it did go more into the of what was happening in 1995, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had all of these bands trying to stay relevant and trying to jump on the grunge train, and I think it's the same thing. There's a couple of cool tracks, but I never gave it much more than a couple listens.
Okay.
Yeah, man, and I'm on the opposite. I love that album.
Really? Okay.
I felt like it was more of a natural progression to that sort of alternative side of what they're already doing on the first album. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like a more natural. Obviously, grunge was out. Everyone's trying to be weird and like droney a little bit and alternative and whatnot. But and they certainly had that in some of the songs. They were longer songs and a little more parts to them. But overall, man, I really enjoyed that album. I was like, it's almost better than the first album for me.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, there's some cool things going on for sure.
Hopefully that helps with your decision.
Yeah. now, if I find it for less than $10 US dollars over here, I'll take a chance on it then.
Give it a go, man.
That's like $17.95 Canadian.
Yeah, plus those tariffs. You know what I mean?
Oh, the tariffs. Now we're in trouble.
It's an $80 record over here.
Oh yeah.
We wish you guys luck. Yeah. So now moving on to the next album here, we have Killer Dwarves with their 1992 Methods of Madness. What's your guys' thoughts on this album?
Okay, this is Scotty's turn first.
Well, I don't know, man. I was always a fan of the Killer Dwarves coming out, and they had some independent videos earlier on in their career on Canadian music television, and they're making vinyl records, and it's kind of fun and exciting, and the song was catchy. But I don't know. I thought they kind of got a bit too jokey a little bit, you know, like they kind of had that fine line between fun and current hard rock and like jokey.
Yeah.
But then they got signed, right, to BMG Records or whatever it was. And I think Dirty Weapons was like the record I really enjoyed by this band.
Dirty Weapons, yeah.
And
they had Stand Tall.
Stand Tall was an earlier one. What's that?
So this is their 4th album, right?
Right. Yeah, this is a later one, certainly. You know, they've been around the block once this album came out.
But this when this came out, I was like, the cover was a little bit weird, you know, given like sort of what their vibe of the band was. But
the cover for me doesn't suit the material on the album. Here's the problem with. Here's the problem. Killer Dwarfs. They'd make fun of themselves, right? The singer would ride out on a tricycle at the beginning of the show because he's short, I guess.
He's like 5'4", apparently.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it was like they didn't take themselves serious. The band seems to have all the talent, but yet the songs. Don't get me wrong. There's some good material on here, but lots of the songs seem forgettable.
I know. You know what? I really like the background vocals. Awesome. Yes. The songs are all well written. They got the pre-chorus, the verse. The singer, I think, is like super underrated within his genre. Like
he sings good,
rad voice, man. I felt the production was a little bit weak coming off like Dirty Weapons. You know, it sounded like a bigger record. Like I like it, but I don't like it. I listen to it and I liked all the parts while I'm listening to it, but when I think back, I'm like, man, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's just other stuff that you would grab before this record. You know, not that you hate it. You know.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. Like Cowboys and Con Man, I love that like sort of Zeppelin-y riff that they had going on.
That's a highlight song.
All My Heroes, I liked it. Had a cool kind of groove thing going on. It was super catchy.
I think that the opening track is one of the best tracks on the album, right?
Yeah.
Hard Luck Town. Yeah.
And what's the last track? Doesn't matter or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it just me or did that remind everyone of like Tesla? Like the way he sings it, the chorus, how it's like the whole thing plays out. It's a Tesla song, man.
Really?
Yeah, go back and listen to it after this. Like,
I agree.
I gotta check my notes. I feel like I wrote some notes about Tesla in there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For the Killer Dwarves, they kind of remind me like if Def Leppard wasn't like
good.
If Def Leppard would have stayed new wave of British heavy metal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. Down that course a little bit.
Yeah, but what do you think?
Just wanted to jump in here, guys, and say if you guys are still watching this video, thank you so much for watching the Crash Course Metal Show. Not just this video, but all the other videos that I post and upload. We appreciate you guys being here and helping to keep this, metal genre alive. And it takes every single one of you to help keep it alive as well. And guys, if you haven't yet, click the like button. It's still free to do. Come on, it just helps the algorithms and it helps us get to other fans that like this music as well, and also brings in fans that don't know that they are fans of this music as well. So click the like button and also share this video with a friend that you know that likes this style of music, hair metal, thrash metal, power metal, just heavy metal in general. Give it a share. Appreciate that. And also to click the subscribe button. Hang out with us, party with us for a little while. Let's build this community up. So that's all I wanted to say. We are going right back to the video, and thanks so much for watching. Yeah, okay. So I had this album for a while. I would say probably the least amount of time of all four of these albums. So probably like 6 years or so. And I actually came across this because this is actually the first Killer Dwarves album that I bought.
Wow.
Because this is a band that I just I heard the name and such, through my younger years, but never really dove deep into them, like on YouTube and stuff. So, but I heard they were playing one of their live albums at a local record store around here. And I heard Drifting Back, the live version. And I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, I need to find out who this is. And so I got my phone out and did like the, hey, who's this playing? And they told me Killer Dwarves. I was like, oh, fuck, okay, cool. I knew who Killer Dwarves is, so I'm going around looking for their shit. And this is the album that I came across. And obviously it had Drifting Back on it. So Drifting Back is one of my favorite songs of Killer Dwarves. Just like a great ballad style song. It does really remind me, though, of Doesn't Matter as well. It's like two songs cut from the same cloth, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So... But I will say, though, as an album, like the past 6 years, I like it. It's kind of like to you guys. I like it, but this isn't an album that's going to make a top 100 list for me, or that I just am like, oh, I got to listen to this, or you guys have to listen to this album, So, but I do like the song, like the title track's fine. Four Seasons is cool. Drifting Back, like I said, Doesn't Matter is good. Hard Lock Town just as well. Like there's solid stuff on here, but it's just nothing that I would be like, you have to go and go home and listen to this right now. Like nothing like that. But it's good for what it is, though. 1992. I wish there was a little bit more of a edgier sound to it, more of a sleazier sound. Because when I think of 1991, 1992, 1993, I want all of my hair metal bands to be getting edgier and more mature, which there is some of that on here. But as a whole, it just kind of missed that mark for me. But overall,
it's few and far between, right? There's little glimpses, but for the most part, it's not. And, you brought up the title track. The title track, to me, sounds like a Slaughter song. Even the bass playing, it sounds like Dana Strum just killing it. But it sounds like it's on The Wildlife. Listen to that song again. It sounds like a Slaughter song off The Wildlife.
It does. That's a good comparison because because I'm not the biggest fan of The Wildlife, the album. I think that's Slaughter's probably worst album, maybe. And
I love it.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay, so because I'll say no more about it. So,
you want to talk about Kiss?
Yes, I will talk to you off air here about Kiss. Okay, so you and your Kiss Army guys. Okay.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, though, Killer Dwarves Method of the Madness, it's a fine record for what it is. But to me, though, it's nothing amazing.
It just seems to based on their earlier stuff too. It just seems to miss a bit of magic or cohesion or some sort of spark that kind of brings it all together. But it's all well produced, good songs, good.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, and I felt like the guitars could have been louder.
It's all good. It's all pretty good.
It's all pretty good, but it's just not.
But when you're talking about a great genre, subgenre, hair metal or glam metal, sleaze metal, pretty good. It's just like the middle of the pack. You know what I mean? Like that's how I think of it. You know, because there's so much great stuff. There isn't a bad band really in the '80s, in my opinion, or like
no, you're right. You're right.
The hair metal genre.
And you know, in Canada, Killer Dwarfs was always a B band. They were always a B.
Really?
They're always opening for someone.
Yeah. Okay, that's strange too. You would think at least with them being around for this long at this point, they would kind of have a decent name in Canada, their home country. You know?
Yes.
I can tell you that I never bought no Killer Dwarfs albums.
Oh, the truth is coming out. Okay,
I've got one. Yeah.
Good deal. So, did we say all of our piece on Killer Dwarfs here now?
I feel like it. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
too much. We said
okay. Okay. All right. So the next one that we have is going to be Vices from Kick-Axe. Oh shit. Okay. It sounds like you guys have a lot to say about this album. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. This band originally started in Regina, which is only a couple hours north of where we're situated. Hey, south. Sorry, I'm looking at the map upside down. But so they always kind of had like a local band that kind of made it vibe. You know what I mean? And
so Regina. You know what? I was hanging out with...
joke. Someone make a joke. Yeah.
So I was hanging out with Justin Hawkins from The Darkness, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And he said, tomorrow we're playing in Regina. And I'm like, that's not how you say it, man. You say Regina. And he like busted out laughing. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, it's Regina. He goes, why would you Canadians do that? It's obviously Regina. And I'm like, no, man, it's Gina. Anytime we can add a Gina to something, we do.
That's gonna be my new favorite city now. Okay.
It is that, yeah.
Their slogan was the city that rhymes with fun forever.
Yeah.
Really? Oh shit. Okay.
They had a slogan that said, show us your Regina. But then it got banned.
Oh, that joke's right itself, guys. Joke's right itself. Yeah.
It's kind of like a Springfield, Shelbyville scenario. If you feel that. But yeah, so Kick-Axe came out in the early 80s, you know what I mean?
1984, this album.
Yep.
And it sounded like, I was telling Danger here, like this album sounds, it came out in 84, but it sounds like it came out in 81.
Yes. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah, it has like a weird retro sound, but
all the Canadian bands kind of sounded in this genre. This is like Helix,
yeah.
These types of bands. They all had like really kind of weird production, but they all had the big gang chant vocals.
Big gang vocals, hey, from, years on the road in the 70s. Kick-Axe. I mean, there's lots to like about this album, and Danger likes it more than I do.
I love this album.
Yeah.
I can understand why. So yeah, tell me why you love it, and I'll be thinking in the back of my head here and be like, he's totally wrong or he's totally right.
Well, hey, first off, it's got one of the best opening tracks with heavy metal shuffle. Like this guy, what's his name? George Kristen. Man, this guy can wail on vocals. Mm-hmm. And the first time I remember hearing heavy metal shuffle, I don't know, I would have been like, I feel like grade 6, grade 7 when I first got introduced to that song. And it's just, what a great song, great riff. And the guy he screams. Like, I always was really enthralled by singers that I couldn't sing like, right? So if they could sing up in these high registers and scream like that, I was always envious of these singers.
Yep. and you know that singer, he's from America.
Yes.
They did it's a Canadian band with an American singer, I think, to give him more like a frontman vibe, you know? Okay. Kind of a Canadian frontman.
Yeah.
Now, this is the debut album, correct? Or is this... Okay, all right. So I had this album for a long time. A long time to where it was before vinyl got cool again. So I was able to buy this in really, really good shape for $1.
Oh, man.
So yeah. And if you can see behind me, beside the Brittany Fox, I have Welcome to the Club as well. I got that for like $1 or $2. So, but that's a different story. I know.
Yeah,
that's a different story.
That's why you got into all these albums, so you could get them for like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Hey? Didn't have to break the bank.
Dude, yes, exactly. Don't make me send you my Discogs collection or you'll fall over. So, definitely. Now I will say I liked it when I first bought it. Okay, but to me, I always gravitate to like the second wave of hair metal. Like after 87, 88, I prefer that era to like 94, 93. And anything before 87, like 81 to 87, I'm like, I like it, but it's just not where I'm going to be making my playlist or, it's just not my first option. So they fall obviously right into that. But
man, yeah,
I,
sure.
I will say I got a vinyl ripper now, so I put all my vinyl onto iTunes.
Nice.
And I was able to revisit this album about a couple months ago, and I was like, "This is actually really, really good." so I am a fan now, and there's only probably about one track I don't care for on here.
Which one?
Calls for Alarm.
Really?
That's what I said. That's the weakest track on this album.
Oh, nice. Very cool. All right.
It's in my notes.
Great minds think alike, except for Revenge. Kiss Revenge. But
Oh, Joel.
but no, I mean this is good because the single or at least one of the singles off here was On the Road to Rock, which is good.
I love that.
Which is good. Yeah, very good.
It sounds like
very
Autograph, hey?
Yeah, yes. Very good single. Also too, I also like All the Right Moves, Alive and Kicking, Stay on Top has a pretty cool groove. Dreaming About You is like a very I don't want to say it's like an anti-ballad because they're talking ballad like loving and stuff like that. But
it's so good.
Yes, well, and it's a different feel to it, the music.
Yeah.
Like it's a different feel than your typical ballad. I mean, and maybe Man Eater was probably like the other one I don't really care for too much. But overall, though, overall, I'm okay. I like this album. Overall, this actually went up in the ranks for me when we did this here, when I revisit this album.
Me too. And I'm so glad that you chose it because we were going to talk about Stupid Alias that nobody likes, the Canadian version of Danger Danger, and this is way better.
I don't know about all that now. That Alias is a great debut album. So, but go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. Tell me how you really feel. Hey, but look at Kick-Axe. This album and Man-Eater, I really like it because it's based around the blues riff, right? Mm-hmm. But after the solo, it does those shots like how Poison does in Nothing But a Good Time. It's just got the bass and the shots, and then kicks back in, and then it's got a cool call and answer ending where the singer sings something and then the guitar player answers and this and that. I dig those kind of things in music.
Yeah, I like those too. I like those too. I'm with you.
I would say that Just Passing Through is a great ending track. I love that song. Yeah. And it just sticks in my head. I just think it's such a great chorus, and the vocals, again, this guy can sing. Mm-hmm. We can't get singers like that in Canada except for Sebastian Bach and Nick Wall. So
this guy was part of Kick-Axe for their 3-album, run there. It's a classic lineup. Like for me, this album reminds me of like Quiet Riot 3. Do you guys ever listen to that one?
Okay. Yeah. I can see I can see it, but better.
Yeah. And another thing I really liked about this album is like the background vocals, all the
chanting,
and the background singing, and the gang vocals.
Yeah, it sounds dated, but it's cool.
It sounds dated, but they do such a rad job of it, Yeah. And listening back, I was like, holy shit! Like that's for me the best part of the band is some of the background riffs, that's going on.
I agree. And also to your point there, I would also throw in some atmosphere to this album. Some of these songs like bring a little bit of atmosphere to this album, and I think it works really well. Now, some people can argue that this isn't the best cover artwork, but I mean, I like it. I'm cool with it. But like some people I do read that give it shit, but everyone has to be different, guys. Like it's cool. I like it,
I like it. I've seen worse album covers than that.
Yeah. I didn't realize that guy was the mascot, like
right.
Like, yeah, until I watched the video.
And he's not anywhere on Welcome to the Club either, right?
No.
Like I don't. So like, well, yeah, you have a mascot, but like, where's he at with the rest of the albums? Like,
Okay.
tell
It
me.
reminds me of like Short Circuit, that robot, the Short Circuit robot. That would have been about the time, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Now,
Hey,
I do
gotta
kind of
ask you, what's your welcome to the club quick rundown? Because I checked that out.
I
I
was
tell
gonna
Dave,
say,
I'm like, you're going from one album to this. It's like two different like streets you're going down.
it is. Now, like I said, I bought them both at the same time, and I remember even when I revisit the Welcome to the Club here, because I did them both at the same time, putting them on the iTunes. So I was like, this is totally like missing the mark when you're coming off of this album. You know, like
I know, right?
there's like a couple tracks on there that are good that I can get into, but I might just have to like spin it a couple more times to really get it. But it doesn't grab you like the debut does here.
No, man. To me, it goes from like 81 Def Leppard to like Foreigner's greatest hits. You know what I mean? Like production wise. It's like there's like
is Foreigner Canadian?
No, but like like the just the amount of reverb on that second album's The Voice or whatever. It's like add some more. We'll be that more commercial. They had to.
I'm with you. There's no punch to it, I guess too. Like I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, like I said, I only listened to it probably less than 5 times in my life. So
okay, and they also do a cover of what's that song that's Ringo with a little help from my friends?
Oh, that's right. They do. Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
I'm just generally not a covers fan. Like when you guys are like putting on covers on your albums like regularly, there are bands that do it like on every album they do a cover. I'm like, come on, guys, like just either do another song, or if you don't have any more material, just make it an 8-track album. Then come on, like it's not that hard.
About the Bullet Boys.
Bullet Boys? Are you talking about the Bullet Boys?
No, hey, I mean, some covers work. Some covers work. I'm with you, but when you do it all the time, and when I see it all the time, it's like, God damn, guys, come on, let's do a little something here. But
I agree. I feel like Sven Gali shouldn't have put that disgusting cover as the last song. I feel like they should have just cut it off and made it an 11-song album instead of 12 or whatever.
Yes. But I love Teenage Head. I think that was an awesome.
It was a decent cover. Put it as a B-side, man.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a little different. Yeah.
Check out Teenage Head if you want some Canadian punk rock. They're from that same area.
Okay.
Bengali there, but
very cool. All right, so I think we said our pieces on Vices. So let us go to our final one here, and that is going to be Big House, self-titled from 1991. What do you guys got for Big House? What do you guys got?
Big House. Let's talk.
Oh shit! This doesn't sound good. So
it's not good.
It's great.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, man, we're stoked on Big House.
Oh shit! Okay.
Like we were in high school. This album comes out, obviously.
91,
and $1 in My Pocket was the video that was on TV.
Come along. I got $1 in my pocket for you.
Awesome song.
And I love how like the kick comes in and the bass like bum 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 bum, and the guy starts singing immediately. It's like, you just get into this album right off the hop.
Yeah. Look at. You want to talk? I could talk for hours on Big House, because this album is an album that didn't get as big as it should have got. Should have got bigger. right band, wrong time, and even that in that song, like $1 in My Pocket. What a great opener!
Yeah.
It is.
But then the whole after like the chorus part where it just does those shots, it's like like it's so great.
Yeah.
These guys can write a song. They have the most intricate songwriting, and I told Scott, I said, I wish I wrote all these songs, because they're not just your standard typical verse, bridge, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus. They mix it up. They'll change the verses halfway through the verse. They'll go into a completely different riff and do all this stuff. There's so many highlights. Like, I better keep it cool.
Take a breath there, bud. Yeah, man.
Okay, go ahead.
It's amazing. Like, this band started off as like a punk band. They came out of the punk scene.
That's right.
And I feel like that some punk rock sort of songsmith kind of lives in the rock world as Big House. You know what I mean? And
interesting.
Add to the guitar parts. Like, the guy's doing like lots of like playing stops, so like the AC/DC kind of mode where you're
right.
Lots of space in between the riffs. And the singer's voice is amazing. Hey,
I agree.
The guy's got a great voice.
Got a great voice.
I agree.
Man.
Hang on, it reminds me of.
Hang on.
Okay, hang on. I gotta say this before I forget. The guy the voice most of the time reminds me of Phil Lewis from Hollywood Vampires, LA Guns album. That's
Interesting.
I said they got songs that sound like LA Guns.
Yeah.
But you know who this is? These guys are the Canadian version of the London Choir Boys, kind of.
You think so? Really?
Kind of that. They got some of that feel with a couple of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Refuse to Run, I think, has that type of London Choir Boys.
Yeah, that's what I noted on that. Yeah, for sure. LA Guns, London Choir Boys, bud.
Oh.
Damn. Okay. All right.
Super catchy. Hey, and the Baby Doll, look, that was their ballad.
It was
kind of lyrics or whatever, but this is a song I'm talking halfway through the verse, in the second verse, and it does that bass run up, and oh man, completely changes the dynamic. Yep. How great is that?
And then slide guitar sort of wah intro thing.
Oh, it sounds like it's crying.
Yeah. That's what I thought too, man.
That was probably a crybaby wah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, so I am really impressed that you guys enjoy this album as much as you do. I love this album, but I will say it hasn't aged for me that well. I will say that. Yes, when I was like 21, I think, when I bought this album, and I played the hell out of it in my car for like months, because like I did like a side thing, like delivering pizzas, like one night out of the week for a buddy who was like the manager of like the pizza shop, and I thought, all right, I'll just go around listening to music, delivering pizzas, fuck it, and do my thing. So, and this album was in the car for most of that time, so like this album is like in my head. But I will say that was when I was 21. Now, when I visit it recently here, it's still good. It's still good, but I don't think it aged that well for me. I feel like some of the song rating's weak. I know I'm going against some of what you guys said here, but like pretty things, great song, easily a single. But All Night, the next track, was another one of my favorites off of this album. I love that song. Baby Doll is one that hasn't grown well for me. It's still like on the ballad playlist, but like it just sounds like, hey guys, we need a ballad. Just throw something out here for us. so that's kind of what I get here. Can't Cry No More is fine. LA is kind of like a weird song, like, hey, going to LA, call Jack Nicholson, Jack Nickel, that Jack this, that Jack that. Like, I don't know. Like it's catchy.
That's my favorite song on the album.
It's catchy, but it's just like kind of corny at the same time,
Okay, but think about it. If you're in a band, and the type of band I was in, we didn't care about a bunch of metalheads at the top front of the stage going,
I'm with you.
I cared about chicks. I cared about females being at the front of the stage, wanting to tear our clothes off. And this is a song that I wish I would have wrote, because this is a song you could see it rocks enough that the dudes are going to be there. The dudes are all going to be there if the girls are there anyway. And
100%.
Seriously, this is a song that you could just see the female audience jumping around, singing along. This is a great song.
Yeah, I like the La La Lads.
Okay, all right, good. We got some disagreement here. I like it. Angel on My Arm's fine. I like that. Happiness is a cool song. I dig that. But overall, though, like, I will say, as time is going on, I think Sven Gali, in comparison, got better for me over time. And this has gone weaker if I'm just comparing these two, but like, it's still one that people do need to check out and listen to. But I just feel like for 91, I'm kind of going back to that Killer Dwarves type feel of like, this sounds too powder puffy, of an album for 91. I feel like I need something a little bit heavier. I feel like this is going more on the Kiss to Pretty Boy Floyd and Tough side of the aisle, than to say the Spread Eagle, the Nasty Idols, those Skid Rows, those type of bands.
Maybe that's why I like it so much. I love Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah,
I know. So anyway, I have great things to say about Big House. It's just one that my negative is that it just hasn't gotten better for me the last 15 plus years.
What kind of za were you delivering back in the day, man? What was it called?
What kind of za? Let's see, Papa John's, I think it was. So he was the
Papa John's.
He was the manager of Papa John's around here, and I was like, "Hey, let me just come in and hang out with you guys." And I guess I'll deliver pizzas on the sides.
I used to deliver pizzas. It was awesome because I'd always take a za home after at the end of the day, and then you're broke with your roommates and everyone's eating pizza.
Classic. That's the rule 101. You gotta take pizza home with you. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Right.
So I think we have talked about all 4 of these albums here, guys. Who wants to go with their number 4 first?
Hey, this is Michael Kelly Smith from Brittany Fox. You're watching the Krash Kourse Metal Show. Rock on.
Okay, go ahead, my man.
My 4, the 4th, and the 4th by a long shot, is going to be the Killer Dwarves.
What?
Yeah. Like I said, this was the only album that I didn't own. I had heard it. I didn't care for it. It was okay. It's still okay. It's just
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Yeah, man.
Rock, what about you, my man?
Okay, man. Number 4 on my rock pile would be Kick-Axe. Yeah.
Oh, man. Really? Damn.
There's lots of things I liked about the album, but I like the other albums better overall. And Kick-Axe is weird. I think they got it together by their 3rd album, but like that first album was a shaky start.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't get better from there out.
Going forward, we're just going to be known as Danger, I guess.
On the Danger show. Wait, what?
So I'm going to be in agreement with Danger here. So that is going to be Killer Dwarves as my number 4.
Yeah.
It's just, I like it, but in comparison of replayability, it's the least out of all 4 of these for me over the years.
Nice.
So
Gibber.
that's my number 4. So guys, what do you have for number 3?
Yes, it's going to be Krash and Danger from now on.
Danger Krash.
Okay. Well, just going with the same, I'm going to say my number 3 then is going to be Kick-Axe. And I feel bad about this because I honestly flipped and flopped. I could have put Kick-Axe as number 2, just depending on the day, because I think the songs are so catchy. It does sound dated. I get that. The gang vocals may sound dated. So that's kind of why I came into my number 3, but I still love the album.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. What do you got, my man?
Okay, man. Number 3 on the rock pile is going to be the Killer Dwarves.
Okay.
And I flip-flop too, but they're either 3 or 4, 4 and 3. I kind of, depending on the day, went back and forth. But overall, I think the band is greater than the record itself. You know what I mean? Like the collection of their albums and the band itself.
They have better albums.
Yeah, they have better albums.
Yeah.
Okay. But at the same time, there's lots I really enjoyed about it. And so I was kind of like, I'm kind of on a Killer Dwarfs thing. You know what I mean? I'm digging it.
Yeah.
Gonna get a tattoo?
Get a tattoo.
Killer Dwarfs tattoo?
I'll
pay you.
Smaller
$100.
And get a tricycle. I'm gonna take my kids.
Do it, man. Get a Killer Dwarfs tattoo. That'd be hilarious.
Can you imagine?
I would enjoy seeing that. I would give you props for that.
Like, does anyone have a Killer Dwarfs tattoo? If someone has a Killer Dwarfs tattoo, they need to let us know.
100%.
Awesome.
I would show that off on the show if I had one. So.
Yeah.
Get a Rock and Danger tattoo.
We should just go get a bunch of tattoos of like random bands that never got big.
That'd be badass. I would co-sign that for you.
I'd get a Bang Tango tattoo, man.
Oh, Bang Tango.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna have to agree once again with Nate, and that is going to be Kick-Axe. Now, I will say this album certainly really surprised me the last couple months when I reintroduced myself to it. But I think it might even possibly go a little bit higher the more time I spend with it now that it's on the iPod. But it's just really atmospheric, and I think that's a real cool thing, I think, especially for 1985, 84? 84. So yeah, certainly a cool thing for that year, I would say. And just like the singles over there on it is just awesome. Heavy Metal Shuffle, Dreaming About You's catchy. Like, there's catchy shit on here. So that is
absolutely.
going to be at my third spot with possible room, with great potential, I should say. So,
see,
I guess I won.
Me and Krash were on the same page.
well, I will say, welcome to the big club. I will have to get back to you guys on that for the final verdict. So I will get back.
Although, yeah, but here's where we're gonna split. We're gonna split the difference. I know, because I'm gonna put coming in at number 2. I'm gonna put Sven Gali as number 2.
Okay.
And mainly, look, I love the album. The singer's voice kind of annoyed me on a couple occasions. I don't know why. He kind of sounds like, I don't know. Never mind. I don't know. But I feel like there's 3 songs on this album that are just okay for me. Stiff Competition, Real Thing, 25 Hours a Day. Those are all just, they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
And as an album as a whole, I just feel that there was a better number 1.
Okay. That's
wow.
fair.
Okay,
Rock,
man.
what you got, my man?
Number 2 on the rock pile for me is going to be Big House. Big House, self-titled. I like the first 4 or 5 songs quite a bit. It starts off with a bang. I don't mind the deeper cuts. To me, the album's aged really well for, I like it more now than I did previously.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Big House at the Senator Hotel.
No way.
Yeah, and they were playing acoustically, and there was 50 people there, and they were in this little room, and they were playing they played 3 songs. They played Dollar in My Pocket and Baby Doll and one other song acoustically. Yeah, and it was a meet and greet thing where they all signed.
Why had the Senator?
Oh shit!
Senator.
That's cool.
I was thinking of the Barry.
Okay. So me and Rock are going to be in agreement with this one. So that is going to be Big House at number 2. And like I said, I liked it all ever since I bought it. But over time, I find myself just visiting my number 1 more. And I did get them roughly around the same time within that year or 2. But it's just, there's something about it where it's like you said, wrong time. Certainly wrong. If this came out 89 or 88, we could be talking a little bit different as far as them getting a little bit bigger, I think.
Yeah.
But the later it is, it just doesn't fit with how Sleaze was starting to pick up traction at this time. The harder stuff, the more serious type of stuff was picking up speed at this time. And I think it was just the wrong time, which you can say about a lot of bands, but I think just for subgenre purposes, it's just the wrong time, for Big House. So that's my number 2.
Right time in my heart, buddy.
Yeah, that's all that matters at the end of the day, though. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So, all right, number 1. What do you guys got?
Hey, number 1. I'm putting Big House number 1. And hey, look at. I gotta live with my wife. We gotta drive to and from the lake, and she likes a little more mellow music. So Big House fits into my playlist better to go to the lake. She actually likes lots of the songs on there.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
She's by no means a metalhead. She hates all my music.
Yeah.
But I think it's just overall, it's a great album. I think for me, there's not a bad song. They're all catchy. I would put Happiness. You said you like Happiness. I'd put that as my weak link, and it's still a great song.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. I just I like it. I really appreciate the songwriting. These guys are way more talented than me, so I like that kind of stuff. They surprise me. There's more involvement musically in the song than I would give effort to. So,
okay. That's fair.
Half-ass things.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll have to next time I listen to this, I'm going to try to pick out some more details about each song, like what you're describing, because every time when someone brings up something like that, when I go back and listen to it again, I do pick up 1 or 2 extra small details. I'm like, okay, I see what he's saying about that now,
Yeah.
So good deal.
All right, man. Okay, on top of my rock piles, number 1, Sven Gali, Under the Influence. Look at me. In the eyes. I love that. Anyways, this whole album front to back for me, I listened to it back in the day. I listened to it in between that. I listen to it now. Front to back.
In my garden,
I know. I like that part. And even some of the weaker songs, like Danger Here doesn't Real Me or Real You, I can't remember what it was. And the one before that. I really like
Real
this.
Thing.
Real Thing, yeah.
But not the Faith No
Stiff
More.
Competition. Stiff Competition. I like those tunes, man. It's a solid listen. I even like their Teenage Head cover. I like the purple cover. They're a great band. I'm down for number 1.
Yeah. And me and Rocker again in agreement with Sven Gali. So I had to I cut it down the middle. I went with Nate on half, and I went with Rock on the other half. So
that's just to make us feel good. You know, it's our first time on the episode. He didn't want to hurt our feelings.
Yeah, I mean, this is just an album that I just tend to visit more than these other 3. It holds up still pretty just as good, I would say, than all the other ones the past 15 years. And I don't know if I mentioned 25 Hours a Day. I really dig that song as well.
That's my favorite song, I think.
Well, I called it a weak point.
Really?
I called it a weak point, but that's one of my favorite tunes. I love the
That's okay. That's okay. Mr. Pretty Boy Floyd and Kiss Revenge. He can have his opinions, you know.
It kind of sounds like it starts out. It sounds like LA Guns. Like the way he starts singing it, it reminds me of Malaria.
Okay, that's
you know,
very. I like that point.
He drags on that vocal thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
One more thing, if we're comparing bands for Kick-Axe on this Vices album, there's a couple parts that reminds me of Loudness as well.
Oh.
Do you guys get that at all? Like, it's like that atmosphere. There's something like his vocal, like how his vocal sounds. It just sounds like something like out of the East or something, you know?
I get why you're saying it for sure.
I was thinking what it sounds like to me, man, is Crocus.
Okay, I can see that too. What era though? Like, or just any era of Crocus?
Like when the '84 Crocus, you know,
Headhunter and such.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that's probably one of my favorite eras of Crocus as well. The Headhunter era. So
I was always a big fan of Midnight Maniac.
Oh. Well, it went mainstream. But I have to say though, guys, this has been absolutely awesome. Because I don't know when other time I would be talking about Canadian albums other than with the Canadian boys. So let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, well, first off, thank you so much. We love what you do, and we're big fans. So to have an invite and get us on this forum, I mean, we much appreciate it. Keep rocking, keep putting out good videos, and anytime you want us on, man, let's hook it up.
All right. Of course, brother, thank you guys so much for coming on as well. And guys, check out the Rock and Danger channel. They put out great stuff as well. They always bicker back and forth with each other. It's awesome. It's just cool dialogue to see because, you know, we don't always see two like co-hosts anymore on a channel talking it out, you know, so that's awesome to see as well. So you guys do a great job as well. You're more than welcome to come back on anytime. And if you never need me to return a favor, more than happy to do it as well. So
that sounds
absolutely. So for anyone who wants to check us out, follow us on Facebook, Rock in Danger, Instagram, and obviously YouTube.
Yeah, I'll put the link to you guys in the description as well. So
thanks, buddy.
You got it. So guys, tell us what you think of these 4 albums here from Killer Dwarves, Sven Gali, Kick-Axe, and Big House. So quite interested to see what everyone's rankings are because I'm feeling like we're going to get a lot of different ones. This seems to be a very diverse one as well of the ones that we did so far. So guys, until next time, thank you so much for watching the Crash Course Metal Show. That's Rock, that's Danger. I'm Crash. Stay out of that collateral damage, and we will see you guys later.
Woo!
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And then in parentheses it says to the break of dawn.